welcome back to the Wealth Boomerang Show. We're chatting to Eric Bailey. Eric's played professional basketball in the US and in Australia, but didn't actually start playing sport until he was 14. Eric, you had a coach who actually believed in you. How important is it for kids these days to have a coach or a mentor?
Look, I think it's vital. I think it's crucial because there's so many things that happens in a young person's life that demands someone to be there to support them. Because there's so much negativity, not only in schools, but in our society, even on television, a lot of young people, if they get into a situation where they're surrounded by negativity, sometimes that negativity becomes their reality. And sometimes just by having just one person who can look at them and just remind them that what's at stake and remind them it doesn't matter what other people think or how they feel or how they act, that they have an opportunity to do more than what they ever thought was possible, but they must believe. One teacher in one school just kept telling me every day, your future is in your own hands. You have to design it, go out and make it happen. And that's the only reason why I was able to do the things that I've done in my life, is because every day he got that into here.
As South Central, growing up and being called the sissy and being called the coward because you couldn't play sport with the other kids and being picked on, how hard was it for you to hear the one message in amongst all of the rest of the static, all the negativity?
It was hard. I mean, you know, I go outside my house, and on the streets people are playing football outside or basketball, and they're picking teams, and I'm the tallest one. Normally, you know, the tallest one, you got to have him first. I would get picked last, and when I got picked last, they didn't even let me play. They said, you know what, we need 5 people on the court for this team and 5 people on the court for this team, but you're our last pick, but we'd be better off playing with 4. You come in if we get down to 3. So in my head, the man kept telling me every day, wow, you are terrible. So when this one coach said to me, listen, I think you have it in you, all I kept seeing was I was always the last one picked. But when he put me on the court, he kept saying to me, just play every minute, every second like it's your last, and good things are going to happen. And that's how I started to see the improvement. Once I started to see the improvement, I realized, okay, I can do this. And then he put me on a program, you know, whether it was my diet or you know, how many times I would, you know, shoot the ball with my right hand, just fundamentals. You know, he helped me orchestrate a plan, and he held me accountable for the plan. And that's what coaching and being successful is all about. It's about having a goal and having an idea, but also having the framework to get it done, and then having someone to support you and to hold you accountable along the way so that you don't quit and you don't waver, and not judge you. And be honest and truthful to you. You know, don't say yes for the sake of saying yes.
It's not just the belief, but you've actually got to play the game. You've got to do the things. You've got to follow the system and eat the right diet.
You got to show up, and you got to do whatever's required, even though it's going to be painful, and it's going to hurt, and it's not going to be popular.
It's interesting that you got picked last, because I believe in having coaches. I believe in having mentors. And in the last couple of years, I've been to see Richard Branson speak. I've been to see Tim Ferriss speak. I've been to see Arnold Schwarzenegger speak. Every single time I saw those guys speak, you came on stage first. You were the guy who was actually up there speaking. So what sort of tips have you learned from these guys? Because you now speak to businesses, you speak to professionals, that sort of stuff. You've been into Reebok, Nike, Ford. So what lessons can you learn from sport that you apply to business? Sport
and business run a parallel line. Okay, if you take all the top professional athletes, the top sports people, you look at their lives and you say, okay, what did it take for you to become a professional, to be at the top of your game, to be a champion? I call it having a champion mindset. And when you think about champions, one of the first things that they do is they accept that there are going to be some failures and there's going to be some knockbacks and there's going to be some they just, you know, they accept that, okay? But what they don't do going into it is they don't expect it to happen. They go in like they're going to win. But even when it does happen, it doesn't matter. They keep going. And even in business, you know, I've worked with, you know, Sir Richard Branson, I've worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I've worked with Tim Ferriss, and I've worked with the Jamie McIntyres and the people who are multimillionaires, and I get a chance to talk to them about how did you become successful? What were the lessons that you learned in business? And they all run a parallel conversation. They talk about having a vision. They talk about looking beyond what you see right now. They talk about having discipline. They talk about having a structured plan, but they all talk about, okay, listen, we need someone to remind us of what we need to be doing, when we need to be doing it. So they all have a coach. And I believe that whether it be business, whether it be personal, whether it be professional, whether it be sport, if you have someone who can support you and be honest with you and back you up and help you with your plan, you're going to make it.
So you believe that all coaches, all successful coaches should also have a coach?
I have a coach. I have 3 coaches. I mean, even though I coach people, I still need to be held accountable for the things that I want to do because I have my own goals. I have my own challenges. I have some things that I face. I mean, at 52 years of age, I still suffer from abandonment issues. So my parents gave me away when I was a child. But some days I'll wake up and I look in the mirror and I feel like, wow, I still can't believe that they've done that to me. And sometimes when I feel that, I let that distract me from what's possible. But I have a coach who I speak with every 2 weeks, and I talk to him about the things that I want to do in my life, and they remind me, and they go, okay, what's some of the things that you've gone through during the week? What stopped you from following through on your progress? And one of those things have looking back into my past and making that into my reality. So yes, as a coach, you got to have a coach.
Mate, 52, and I believe you've recently become a grandfather.
Yes, I'm a granddaddy now.
And you don't have a wrinkle on your face. Is this
thank you.
oil of your land, or you got some diet secrets? What's the tip?
I do have a lot of diet secrets, but it's mostly the way I eat, the way I live, the way I sleep. I don't eat a lot of junk food. I don't eat a lot of chocolate. Don't eat a lot of sugars. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I never have. I work out regularly. I take care of my mind. I make sure that I surround myself with positive people, so I try not to get stressed and get caught up into other people's negativity. So I live a stress-free life, and I'm not a granddaddy. I call myself G-daddy. So that sounds a little bit cool, a little bit hip on the side. Okay, I don't want to throw myself into the granddaddy because that really makes it seem like you just over the hill.
G-daddy, like P. Diddy.
There you go, G-daddy. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say you don't drink alcohol. I believe you did have one drink.
One.
In your life?
One drink in my life, 17 years of age, first year of college, made a shot, won the game. After the game, went to this unbelievable party, got talked into drinking for the first time in my life because it was what everybody does. Unfortunately, I drank too much, alcohol poisoning. I woke up in the campus hospital. Then 3 days later, I woke up, realized that morning it was time for our midterm exams. So we did have to appear for that. One of the things about a scholarship, you miss your midterm or your final exams, you lose your scholarship. I was unable to complete my exam. I was actually, technically, I was suspended from university. Wow. Got to the airport, and right before I boarded the plane to go home to tell my parents I had been suspended from school, my coach, the dean of the students of the university, actually came to the airport and said, listen, you've been given a reprieve. The university professor's son went through exactly the same thing. If you can promise that this will never ever happen again, we will let you stay in university for the next 3 years. Wow. I was 17 years of age, and from that day onwards, never touched alcohol again.
You made a promise and kept it for 40
years.
Made a
promise, yeah, because
Fantastic.
that one thing almost ruined my entire life.
Fantastic. Mate, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have a chat to you more about the psychology of sport and how you can apply that to business and life.
Okay.